Welcome to Wimbledon, a place that represents everything quintessentially British.
That is splendid.
Long summer days are spent eating strawberries and cream while fans from around the globe congregate to savour the best tennis the world has to offer. And some even come in the hope of seeing a British player make it through to the finals. But last year, there was something slightly different happening on centre court.
Oops, sorry, wrong court.
Peter's sort of an ageing tennis pro at the end of his career, on his last legs, and he's about to take a job at a sort of leisure centre for the nouveau riche.
We shall look forward to giving you a peek at our ground strokes, won't we, ladies?
Oh, do shut up, Sylvia.
And he gets a wild card to play in Wimbledon.
Once ranked 15th in the world, I hear.
11th, actually, for the better part of '96. He meets the sort of enfant terrible of American tennis, who's played by Kirsten.
What are you talking about? The chart flew up! There's a mark right there!
And miraculously, his game starts to go up.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about my personal life. I usually don't answer them.
It's her first Wimbledon, and she's just like very aggressive.
Maybe I go a little over the top sometimes.
She's very competitive and very driven in an unhealthy way, actually.
You know, maybe that's what I need to do to play my best.
She's kind of a man in the way she goes about approaching men. She's like very in control.
And that's why I came to London, to win Wimbledon.
Kirsten's character sort of feels she can't have a career and a relationship at the same time.
All that other stuff just gets in the way.
But she, of course, falls deeply in love with me. She's only human. I'm so sorry. I was given the key to room 1221.
This is room 1221. My 1221.
The sort of unfortunate side effect is that her game tends to go down when she's in love, and mine goes up.
You're exceeding my expectations.
Mine too.
We were very lucky. They came together. We put them together in a small screen test. There was immediate chemistry. They liked each other. They looked good together.
Hit this one, and I'll sleep with you.
The camera loves them. You know, they play to the camera. It's their friend. They're not frightened of it. They enjoy doing it. And that comes over, I think, to an audience.
Wimbledon attracted an impressive array of stars from the world of professional tennis, with cameos from some of the most famous faces to have played at the tournament.
This is ugly.
We're not acting out another person's role. I mean, we're acting like ourselves, but there's no tennis match in front of us, so in a sense, we're acting.
Here we go. Persuading McEnroe to be in the movie, I've got to tell you, was one of the hardest hours of my life, because he's not a pushover, and he doesn't give you a lot till he wants to, and so I liked him very much, and he was very good at what he's done for us.
Action. Jake Hammond has been on an absolute tear. He's lost only one set this entire tournament, and look who he's had to beat. Roddick, Hewitt, and somebody, Federer. We're the expert commentators. You know, we work together a lot, actually doing real matches, so we figured we'd probably know something about the fake ones, too.
Well, with the exception of Dragomir and Tom Cavendish, Colt's road to this final has been a relative pushover.
Good. Cut. Excellent. If you're going to make a film about tennis, I think even though, yes, could we get away with it not being too accurate? We could, but I don't think there's any reason that should be. So McEnroe and Pat Cash and many other tennis players contributed to the accuracy. And action, Mary.
Not to add to the pressure, Peter, but you know the entire United Kingdom is cheering you on today.
Yes.
And cut. Good.
Certainly everyone in the tennis world understands what a long shot this is for somebody to come from out of nowhere in England.
That's right, but he's played some great tennis.
It's the finals, and a Brit could win, and you have to be real excited.
That's the fantasy part.
So that's
that's where we're really acting.
Yeah.
I'd love to see an English guy in the finals, but give me a break. Peter Colt is the luckiest man in tennis.
Both actors and athletes are traditionally superstitious, and it was a subject that came up time and again during the filming of Wimbledon, both on and off set.
I always had the same outfit. I always had the same hairdo. So I always looked exactly the same whenever I played, which was kind of my superstition, I think. There's one day that kind of goes wrong with her where like her string breaks, and you definitely feel, anybody feels, like a slight little omen of bad luck. It's hard when you have to be so focused, especially in this game because it's either win or lose.
40-15.
Yes!
Some of the tennis players, you know, had to have their grip exactly the same practice courts, same drive, same ball boy.
You were with me last match. Do
Yes, sir. Brilliant play, sir.
you think I could trouble you?
Sorry.
We had this one ball boy who was our lucky charm, and he got to the final of the US Open, and I looked down the court, oh my God, the ball boy wasn't there. You know, and I wanted to run around. I was like, I had it in my list of things to do, make sure that ball boy was on the court. And I didn't do it, and he ended up losing.
15 love.
I'm not sure it was because of the ball boy. I think the opposition was pretty good too.
Yes, thanks. I'll be meeting with I do get into routines on film sets. Usually when things are going wrong, you know, when I think I'm being bad. Interesting bit of trivia, actually. Do you know that I've never won a match at Wimbledon with my family in attendance?
You're not invited?
Nope.
Whether it was eating or wearing the same clothing combination or one sock that was black and one that was white, anything it fell into and worked that day, I would keep doing it until it didn't work.
He seems completely lost out there, John.
Lost and confused. We may be witnessing the near total collapse of a player's game. At a moment like this, Chrissy, you have to wonder, what the hell is going through Peter Cult's mind?
Radiohead represents your sort of inner world, so it's strange and undermining thoughts that come to you at sort of great moments of pressure.
118 guys out there are faster, stronger, better, and younger.
Well, what appealed to me initially was how much inner dialogue that the players will hear themselves talk about themselves.
And it gets you thinking.
He'll be 32.
Prime of my life.
The talk that goes on in your brain is just, it's non-stop. Sometimes it gets too much, particularly when your form isn't so good.
It's going to retire. Stop it. Stop it right now. Just serve.
Oh, things aren't working well. Oh, what a day. Oh, I think I'm going to quit after this tournament. It just goes on and on and on.
These young guys, where do they get the energy, the focus?
But there's not a tennis player out there who hasn't had, you know, a bad run of luck and a bad run of form.
And for the first time in my life, I'm afraid.
You know, the guys talking to themselves negatively. It was just like, boy, this is really true to home.
I'm afraid of what happens if that ball keeps going by me. What happens then?
It's his parents and teachers from grade 5 who are telling him that he's not good enough.
Second round. That's not so bad. He did win the French Open. At least you got 3 games off.
Part of his journey is how to, like, get rid of those voices and become a true champion.
3 games? 3 lousy games, last match of your career, and you got 3 games? It's pathetic.
After reading the script, I was on my way to another tournament, and when I got out there and played my match, I realized all the crazy things that go through my head.
Oh God, I'm tired, so tired.
You know, what do I gotta get back to LA? Or look at the hot chick in row 5. You know, I'm losing this match, but maybe, you know, she smiled at me, maybe I can get lucky. And that Radiohead really captures what goes on in the mind of a tennis player.
Please, God, please make it end.
Finally, what have the stars of the movie taken away from their time spent inside the gates of the world's most famous tennis tournament?
What's fun about being in a movie like this, or even seeing a movie like this, is it opens up another world that's very fully realized and steeped in tradition that I, for one, wasn't that familiar with. And the more that I learn about, the more interesting it is.
Something of an honor just to be on these hallowed grounds and be able to walk out into center court and just kind of breathe it a bit. I really like that.
I like tennis. Say I love tennis? Not passionate? No. I'm a bit like most people in England. When Wimbledon's on, I watch it and enjoy it and love it. But the truth is, I probably represent much more so the bulk of the audience who will see this movie. We couldn't make the assumption that this film is only for tennis fans, otherwise there wouldn't be enough of them in the world to justify the movie.
Go out there and decide who you are.
Who might that be?
That might be a winner.